I'm Hailey.
I'm Sean.
And welcome to Hailey Hates Everything.
I pick a surprise topic.
And I get high and opinionated so we can discuss it together.
So grab a snack and hang out with us for
Hailey Hates Everything.
Hello, and welcome to Hailey Hates Everything. Hey, we're here. We've been gone for a little bit, but we back. Hey, what's going on, Hailey?
Well, I was trying not to laugh over everything you just did, and the face you made was incredibly hilarious. Hiya. I am here in body and mind, and we say hello.
So, yeah, we have been gone for a little bit.
Here's the thing. I feel incredible guilt and shame from not keeping up with the podcast. Even though it was a choice we had to make.
Yeah.
That's why we're sitting here talking now, because I figured it was easier to just tell you about the guilt and shame than just keep feeling it until we finally recorded something.
It's harder to write down for an Instagram post all your feelings of guilt and shame.
Oh, child, Instagram can't handle. There's only a certain amount of characters that you can use. And it's easy to exceed that when talking of guilt, shame, depression, anxiety, trauma, all the fun things that happen. No, Instagram can't handle me in that capacity. They really can't. They don't even want to know what's behind that door. But here, I'm going to talk about some of it. So it's when you're doing anything, a blog post, you want to get friends and fans. You have to be consistent with it. And so they always tell you, be consistent. If you're going to do a YouTube video, you got to put it out on the same day every month or every couple of weeks. You got to have a schedule and you got to do with it. You got to stick with it. And that's how you get people to like you and yada, yada, yada. Now, is there something to that a little bit? Probably. And I try to be really consistent with it. And that's why we have a schedule of kind of when we record. And we've been trying to tweak the schedule of the podcast to make it more functional within our lives. Because sometimes you just get busy. And so we'll do a little tweaking next year as well. We're going to have a very smaller schedule-ish. But we'll talk about that later. Anyway, we're trying to tweak it. And I try really, really hard to juggle all the things I have to juggle and to make sure that the podcast gets recorded and goes up regularly. Mm-hmm. You know, it's something that I want to keep up with. It's something that I like doing, but I am juggling a lot of stuff. And then when you start to count in mental health, and that can get triggered at a moment's notice, and you don't really sometimes you don't know that it's coming. But for me, my mental health has been really, really bad. My depression has been really bad lately. And it just got to the point where I was so overwhelmed with everything that I just couldn't get myself together to record the podcast. We couldn't fit it in our schedule because things just kept coming up and stuff like that. Anyway, so I feel guilty for not keeping up with it, and then for not saying anything, not posting about it on Instagram or whatever. And then I feel shame, mad at myself because I'm not being consistent with it and keeping up with it, and I'm falling behind and people expect things of me and yada yada yada. So it's kind of easier just to talk about it than pretend that it's not there.
Well, I think you gotta remember they talk these algorithms and stuff and coming out on these specific time frames and stuff.
Yeah.
You gotta remember all those algorithms, they aren't necessarily based on people following you. A lot of that's based on them predicting consistent numbers for ad revenue, like purple mattresses or something. We see those things all the time. They're all right, you're gonna get this amount of stuff happening at this rate and stuff like that. So a lot of that, they like to say it's about people viewing you and getting repetition, but a lot of that's about how they make their money.
Okay. Well, we ain't making no money on this.
No,
there's no money coming in.
We're making money for them, though.
Yeah, but we don't even have ads, though. Nobody... I guess some machine somewhere is making money from us
Yeah,
just
yeah.
by being. Sure, yeah, okay. But I just, it's all a mind fuck. We're living in a mind fuck.
Yeah.
And then we get extra mind fucked. And some people are more susceptible to mind fuckery. Some people were born with mind fuckery. Like, so we're all getting fucked. And not in all the ways that we want to.
Indeed.
And it's that in itself is a shame.
True.
Anyway, I'm sorry that we're so behind, but this is what's going on. If it wasn't for pot, honestly, I would just be in the corner somewhere crying.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so let's give it up to Mother Nature and the plants that she bestows upon us, because hallelujah to that.
And Hitoki for their awesome trident laser
That's
bong.
true. Can you give us some change? We'll talk about you. Give us one of those little travel ones.
Yeah, yeah.
That's fine. So, do we want to talk about the weird week that we had?
Yeah, so
That's the thing about this podcast. It's a bonus episode. This isn't the usual thing. But also, Hailey hates depression and that kind of thing, and generally feeling like shit.
yeah.
So it kind of goes with the whole thing. And I wanted to say I'm sorry. I wanted to say I do feel immense guilt and shame for not adhering to the schedule. And then we want to tell you, like, what's been going on? What have we been doing? We got some stories to tell. We got some things to talk about. So it's not all going to be sad. Why, Haley's depressed. Although that is the reason for this season. Do we want to talk about the weird week?
Yes, go for it.
So, y'all, this was the week before Thanksgiving, and it started so fucking weird, and I just need to tell you about it. I got to tell someone else. I've told a couple friends, but so I almost got murdered. So I've been going to these herbal classes and in this old building in downtown Vancouver. They're really fun. Haven't had any issues. Love the teacher. Everything's really fun. But now it's really windy and dark and cold by the time I get to these classes, and there's no lights. The parking
Yeah.
lot's completely dark.
It's very dark.
This class usually goes from a certain time to a certain time. This time it was wrapping up early. And so I text Sean and I was like, hey, come get me. I don't drive, by the way. Come get me. This is wrapping up because it's really cold and windy outside and I don't want to stand out there longer than I need to. And I already had to use the bathroom, but I decided not to go at this place, so that was the other issue. But anyway, Sean doesn't get the message right away because he's feeding the dogs, and I'm already outside by the time he gets the message. I've helped the teacher clean her space. I've helped her take stuff to her car just to try to help her. I mean, it wasn't completely selfish. I wanted to help her, but also to like drag the time out a little bit.
Yeah.
For me. So say goodbye to her, and then I go sit on the side of this building. There's a little porch and a little stairway that we come out of. The doors have already locked, so I can't go back in. There's not a lot of light, and I want to stay in the light because it is dark. It is in the city, and I am a lady at night. It's just something we have to watch out for.
Yep.
So sitting there, I took some selfies because I was looking kind of cute and cash in my hoodie, and I looked like a Northwest girl. I think it's a cute look for me. So I took a couple selfies. This tree, this lovely tree, I don't know if you know about autumn or not, but the colors on the trees. There was this lovely, lovely tree. I took some pictures of it, and then I was like, oh, yeah, I need to put my phone away. I need to be alert. Sean's still 15 minutes away. I'm trying to make this more succinct of a story, but I feel like I'm just yammering on. Probably details you don't care about, but I'm going to tell you anyway. So all of a sudden I hear this man yelling, like, oh, you piece of shit, blah, 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 yelling. You can tell it's very angry. It's very angry. And I thought maybe some people were getting into a fight or something. Something was going on. Yeah. But it was so loud and seemed so close. I thought that was weird because the main road was a little bit farther away. But I hear this man yelling and I turn to look, like, where is this coming from? What's going on? There's this large looming figure that comes out of the darkness of the parking lot and onto the sidewalk that goes right in front of me, right in front of the stairs that I'm sitting on. I was like, oh shit. I could see that it was just him. And his head was kind of moving around, like he was yelling at himself.
Yeah, yeah.
He had on like all of these, like a parka jacket and these really heavy boots, and he was carrying a big duffel bag. I'm trying to get the whole layout of him so I know what's happening here.
Hmm.
And he's just yelling at himself, just berating himself for stuff. At the moment when he steps up to get on the sidewalk, he looks up, and then I'm pretty sure that's when he saw me as he's yelling at himself. He says, "You better leave that girl alone." My whole body stood up. I go, "Oh, I think I'm the girl he's trying not to murder." So I get my coffee mug and my water bottle, because those are the only weapons I had. And I am nervous about what's about to happen. So as he yells, "You better leave that girl alone," and then he goes completely silent after that. That was kind of more terrifying than knowing what he was thinking and him
Yeah.
just yelling it. And I get a inner monologue that's negative, like trust me, but there was so much anger behind the actual words coming out of his mouth, and it was very frightening. So he goes completely silent as he walks in front of me. I'm watching him like a hawk, because I'm like, the moment he comes at me, I'm throwing some shit at him and I'm running. I
Yeah.
watch him the whole entire way. And he goes down to the end of the building, and there is kind of a rounded pavement thing. He goes around it, and then he just stops. There's like a curb for this parking lot, and he just stops all of a sudden, almost like he was trying not to trip on something. Like it wasn't a planned stop. It wasn't a gradual stop. It was just like, wait a second. And that freaked me out because it looked like a horror movie. Like when the bad guy, when the murderer is like, "Oh, wait a second, let me turn around and go back and murder that girl."
Yeah, yeah.
It was kind of like that. And he just stood there facing forward like that for what seemed like a very long time. It was probably a minute, maybe a minute and a half tops, but it seemed like a really long time.
Yeah, still, if you're like counting that out in your head, that's a while that he's just standing
Yeah,
there.
because I'm looking at him because I know the moment that he turns around, I have to fucking run if I don't want to die.
Yeah.
And so I'm watching him because I know that I'm gonna have to go, but I'm also looking around. Like, if I run that way, am I going to be able to get out to somewhere? Oh, but if I run this way, I can get to the intersection and maybe flag some people down, and I can probably make that there and get ahead of him because he's really weighed down with his clothes and boots and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm just in sneakers and a hoodie. So I'm like, okay, this is my exit. These are my exits. This is what I can do. Here's what might happen. Yada, yada, yada. I'm gonna have to start screaming. Gonna have to try to get my phone and call the police or call the U or something. Like,
Yeah.
here's what I'm gonna do. And still like willing you to come in the parking lot at any moment.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then turning back to look at the guy and make sure he's not moving yet and just all this stuff. And there was a moment where I was gonna start crying. Like, my body wanted to just shut the fuck down.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to cry. And I was like, no, bitch, not now. We got to look for exits. We got to figure out what's going to happen. I didn't want to get up immediately because I didn't want to draw attention to myself or make any noise or anything like that. So I was just kind of waiting for that moment when I had to run. And then after he just stood there for a while, then he went on his way, and then I couldn't see him anymore.
Yeah.
So at that moment, I got up and I went to the front of the building because there was less light, but there was a larger area, like field of vision. Because I could
Yeah.
see her across the courtyard and the parking lot and down the street with the intersection and stuff. I was like, this, at least I can see everything around me and try to get a better, if someone's coming at me from whatever direction,
Yeah.
I'll run the other direction just to be more prepared, because this guy just came out of nowhere. So anyway, it was another like 10 minutes before Sean came, and as soon as I got in the car, I started shaking, and then I didn't start crying till we got home. It was scary.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I think I almost got murdered or something else. And I was in shock. And then
Yeah.
it was terrifying. So then I had to sort of process all of that. But
Yeah. Yeah.
and that's how that week started.
That was Monday. And then Tuesday morning, I got a call from my manager's manager, like first thing in the morning, that essentially my entire team had been let go, except for basically me. So that sucked. Is my manager and a few other teammates and stuff all just basically gone. That's it. Just budgetary things like a lot of companies been doing lately, but still, the week before Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was a bit... Thankfully, I have my job, but
Yeah.
still, it's like depressing to lose friends and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, that was...
It was very sudden, too, it seemed.
Yeah, there was no warning at all. It was just boom, yeah.
Yeah, so everything else was just topsy-turvy after that. And the depression has been creeping in anyway, and I think that something about that just kind of triggered it more.
Yeah.
And then
Thursday is my dad's birthday. He's been dead for
10 years?
10 years now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez. It's nuts. Yeah.
My dad, his birthday is the 23rd, which was the following Wednesday. He's been dead for 24 years. So, but there's a whole there's a little bit of around this time.
Yeah.
And just like a lot of my childhood, we would go to see my relatives in Mississippi for Thanksgiving. So there are positive things about that for me, and there are very negative things about that for me. And so Thanksgiving is just like this weird time.
Yeah.
And also the aspect of the way that it's marketed as, oh, the white people are being nice to the indigenous people and this is their dinner and
Yeah.
yay, everybody's friends. That aspect of it is also bothersome to me. There's very mixed feelings, but also I love food. And I love these sort of traditional Thanksgiving foods that I grew up with, and that those are comforting to me. So there's all these different feelings, and it's a lot to handle and to, I don't know, mesh together somehow that makes sense and doesn't cause discomfort.
Yeah.
Even though discomfort can be good, but just a lot of mixed things going on. We did have Friendsgiving. That was really nice.
Yeah.
That really helped kind of decompress a little bit, just laughing with people, just hearing them laugh. Because this was probably the biggest Friendsgiving we've had since before
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
the pandemic. And even then, I don't think we went to one or two Friendsgivings during the pandemic because we were just so cautious and everything. But it was really nice to just hang out with people, catch up with people I hadn't seen in a really long time. There was new people, people have different boyfriends now, or they've met someone, or yada, yada, yada. Different new friends coming in. And so that was interesting to meet new people as well. And just hearing people laugh and have fun. It was nice.
Plus a bunch of tasty food.
Yeah, a bunch of tasty food. People stepped it up at this Friendsgiving.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
They said, you know what? This is celebratory. We're having a good time. And I feel like so many people stepped it up. The food was great. And it's always great. But it was just like, there was something extra this year with all the food. And so we really appreciated that as well.
Yeah. This year I made oatmeal scotchies because Nigel's sister wasn't going to come. And Hailey was pretty sure I did that on purpose to steal her thunder on the haystacks.
Oh, damn. Okay, so I didn't expect you to throw me under the bus or turn on me in such a way. I didn't know it was like, let's call Hailey out. Oh, she want to speak some truth? Here's some truth, bitch. I didn't know that's where we were going. But okay, we're there. We're there. The bus has left us here. Now we have to walk home. So we might as well talk about it. So yeah, I made gay stacks, which is haystacks, which are crunchy Chinese noodles and then a mixture of peanut butter and butterscotch chips. Toss it all together, kind of like a Rice Krispie treat, but in a haystack form, so it looks like a little nest. Y'all would know if you saw it. Anyway, I grew up with these things. But then I sprinkle them with rainbow sprinkles, and I call them gay stacks because, let's face it, 99% of the people at Friendsgiving are gay. And so I like to make them a special treat that has a little extra pizzazz to it. And they're really good, and everybody seems to like them.
Yeah, absolutely. They're great.
So this year, Sean decided to make oatmeal scotchies. Great, awesome. Those are tasty too. We haven't had those in years. Go ahead and make them.
it was a last minute. The night before, I decided to make them because Nigel's sister wasn't coming.
Right.
She usually makes them.
So then we get to the party, and nobody seems to be eating the haystacks. They're telling Sean how good the oatmeal scotchies are. Oh, Hailey, did you make these? No, Sean did. They're so good. Yeah, I know. Sean, oh, these cookies are so good. Who made these cookies? Great. I'm glad you're getting the props you deserve. That's nice.
I
But
did do a slight
nobody
modification.
nobody was eating the haystacks at first, and nobody was telling me they loved them, and thank you for bringing them. People love Sean more than they love me.
No,
That's the thing behind this.
that's
Is
perceived.
no, it's the truth. People, my friends, your friends, everyone you come into contact with, they love Sean more than me.
I don't think
They think
that's not
Sean
true.
is amazing. And he is. It's not like that's not true. It's not like you're a jackass. You're a very great person.
Yeah, but
But
they're not gonna like. If it was just me, they wouldn't be inviting me to all kinds of stuff because I'm not that entertaining. Haley's the one who's entertaining and fun, and her smile lights up the room.
I don't know about that.
It's true. It's true. I'm just like I smile and listen and giggle, and
People
like
love
that.
to be listened to, though.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's not that you're not awesome, but people always like you more than they like me. And they comment about it, too. You know what I
They
mean?
don't say I like Sean more than Haley. Nobody
People,
says that.
no, people have said that a
Oh
couple
my
times.
God, no.
And so it's an internalized feeling now. And so when everyone was complimenting your cookies and no one said anything about my haystacks, that is called a trigger. And I was mad because I felt like I was like, people already like you more anyway. Why do you have to make the better dessert item? Why can't I just have a win?
But people did say they loved the haystacks. And they ate them up.
Eventually, people said they loved the haystacks, and there wasn't that many left.
Yeah.
So they did get through them, and I appreciated that.
And they liked your butternut squash dish
They
as well.
did like my butternut squash dish, so in the end it was fine. But that's not like that's a trigger. That's
Yeah.
when something is a little bit out of control, your reaction, in this case my reaction, to something that's not as big a problem as you think it is.
Yeah.
And then you gotta juggle that. And
Yeah.
I didn't like lash out at you. I wasn't
No.
mean to you or anything. I just made a couple comments and I had some animosity. But that leveled out. And I wasn't mean to you or anything.
No.
I didn't stop talking to you or
Yeah, and I gave you back sass, so
what?
I returned the sass.
Oh, okay. I didn't know what you said. It was all a jumble in my head. Because here's the thing, you guys. I'm medicated as fuck right now. And that's the only way I'm getting through this. And I wanted to sit down and catch up with you, but like, I'm still fucking medicated. As I should be. Trust me, shit has got done this week because I've been medicated.
Well, speaking of your medication, we can kind of talk about our latest exploits with our laser bong and marijuana.
Oh, okay.
I was doing some more research and looking at different strains of a pot and found one on Leafly that, like, I don't know, 80% of people said helped them with depression, anxiety. It's called the Skunk Plus. or in this
I thought
case,
it was called Grade A Skunk.
yeah,
Is that what it's
that's what this specific cannabis dispensary calls it, is Grade A Skunk.
Okay.
But as far as I know, it's the same strain as like Skunk Plus.
Okay. I don't- These names for this stuff is insane.
Insane. Yeah.
Like one of our favorite ones, Magic Alien Cookies.
I think it's actually Miracle Alien
Miracle.
Cookies.
Okay, Miracle. Okay, you used to call it Magic Alien
Yeah,
Cookies, so that's
yeah.
what I thought it was. Miracle Alien Cookies. They just call it Mac.
Yeah.
Pretty nice. Also Skywalker.
Yeah, Skywalker's good.
It's been interesting trying the different strains, learning about what they do, what they're good for. This one helps with focusing. This one helps with anxiety and depression. This one helps with feeling good. There's all
Feeling
kinds of
real
different things. And they all have different the density of the smoke is different, the texture of things is different, the smell of things is different. There's one you got for helping you sleep. It's
Yeah.
called papaya, and it has this very fruity smell to it.
Yeah.
And it's just, that's very interesting to me. And being more kind of hands on with it in this way. Because with an edible, you're just, popping a gummy in your mouth or sucking
Yeah.
on a chocolate for a few minutes. It's just a candy
Yeah.
form.
Yeah. And there isn't necessarily, I think, because the way they distill it and the whatever they do, it loses some of the characteristics because they're just straight trying to get like this amount of THC, this amount of CBD,
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So I think they call them trichomes, is some of the things that have like more characteristics about the different strains and stuff. So
Oh.
then we've been kind of mixing stuff too together. It's because with our laser bong, you got to grind everything before you use it. We'll do like half Skunk Plus, half ACDC, which is ACDC's one that does like all CBD, pain relief
type stuff.
kind of body high type of stuff. So we'll mix those, or if it's for more daytime, we'll add in some green crack.
Yeah, that's one for more focusing energy type situation. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
What a name. What a name. And yeah, it just the hands-on aspect of it, being able to mix stuff, kind of understanding what the different ones feel, taste like, look like.
yeah,
And I can't really tell them apart that much. They're all just dried green leaves. But I don't know. It's just it's more interesting to me
yeah,
being able to experiment in that way.
yeah,
And hey, I benefit from it because it greatly helps my mental capacity and helps me function.
yeah, yeah.
So,
Although you did have a little bit of a issue at Friendsgiving.
okay, so we're still calling Hailey out.
You're on blast.
So, look, it was Friendsgiving. We haven't been to a large party of people in a really long time. I have always had anxiety and a bit of social anxiety, but I think sort of post, if you can call it that, pandemic, it's worse. Traveling in cars is harder for me. I get really freaked out about being in traffic and having other cars really close to me, way more than I ever used to. I get car sick now. And so just getting somewhere is a bit of an issue. And then just being around a lot of people because I start to get really nervous and I need to have that edge taken off so I can just function in the world like a
Yeah.
sort of normal person. So I was high already before we got to Friendsgiving, which was kind of my point about this. And I walked in the room like a fucking queen. I felt amazing. And that doesn't happen very often for me. I'm usually very self-conscious and very nervous until I kind of warm up to the people that are there. No, sir. I pranced in with my giant skillet because I still had to cook my dish once I got there. It was a sausage party of hot gay guys, and they were all enjoying cocktails. And I had on my new plaid shirt dress. I had on sparkly combat boots. I had on a velvet plum colored moto jacket. I was rocking it.
Yeah, looking fine.
Thank you. And so I gave hugs, and then our friend Luke came over and gave me a hug and said he was happy to see me. And he said, "Oh, you look so soft and beautiful." Because I had a velvet moto jacket on. And I looked at him and I posed and I said, "That's because I am." Like, this is the kind of person I am when I'm high and I walk into a room and I'm on and I'm feeling good. And everyone laughed and they're like, "Oh, Hailey, you're so cool." That was the vibe anyway. And I felt good. I did my cooking demonstration because I had to cook right there on the kitchen island. And we were having a great time. But at some point, the smoking, the high does wear off faster.
Yeah.
It
yeah,
happens
for sure.
within 5 minutes and it continues for a while. But by hour two, you're probably not feeling it anymore.
Yeah.
And so you had you had your vape thing.
My vape pen that I got way too high on like the week
Yeah, the one
before or
he had an
something.
issue with. And he's like, hey, do you want some of this? And I was like, well, I'll try it, but I'm doing way less than you. And so it was very short. Was it like 4 seconds?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
held
like
it
four
down,
seconds.
breathed
Yeah.
it in, held it for maybe 4 seconds. And we went inside. And we were gonna go back upstairs to talk to people, right?
Yeah.
The sound in my ears, like whoo, like narrowed in. It was very fuzzy. When we went upstairs, I was really high. I started to see colors like going around the edges of my vision, like just dancing colors.
Yeah.
Then the room got really muted, like misty, like
Yeah.
almost hazy, like they do a flashback or something on TV. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
it was kind of like that, and just a little more muffled. Like everything just felt a little more muffled and slow. And I felt like I wasn't being fast enough for everybody because people are trying to talk to me
Mm.
and laugh about things and stuff. I was a little overwhelmed because there's also all this surrounding noise that was going on,
Yeah.
and it was really hot in the room, and I felt like I wasn't gonna have an exit. But my anxiety starts kicking in, like, whoa, everything's fucking fuzzy and everything's slowing down weird. We need an out just so we're prepared. So, like, let's look for the exits and let's not be in the middle of everyone because then we're less likely to get out of here when we need to get out of here. So I got a little freaked out and a little dizzy or something too, like just a little
Yeah. Yeah.
lightheaded. So then we had to go back downstairs where it was cooler and sit for a while.
Yeah. Wasn't that long?
Half an hour or so.
Yeah.
Not
Maybe.
too bad.
Yeah.
Just let it. I just had to shut my eyes. I just had to let it flow. Let it flow through me and write it out because it was just like just too overwhelming. I was like, that shit is strong.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a bit much for me. I couldn't go around living like that.
Yeah.
So that was interesting. Again, it's an adventure.
Indeed.
So yeah, I still want us to record like a holiday movie or something for the
Yeah.
podcast. I don't know what else we have going on. I have been reading.
Yeah.
I've been reading. That actually has helped me a lot. Being able to just zone out and read some books. Right now I'm listening to a book called I'm Glad My Mom Died by Jennette McCurdy. She was like a Disney child star, and her mom was this very awful stage mom. And there's a lot of relatable stuff because this is childhood trauma. This is a narcissist mother that you're dealing with.
Yeah.
But it hasn't been as triggering as I thought it was going to be. There's just been moments that I've been like, "Oh shit, that happened to me," or I can relate to
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
in a very similar way. But I also read, so I found out that there is a whole section of books in this world that have a plus size main character.
Awesome.
And that these books are not about this chick's weight. She's not trying to lose weight. She's not being told what a piece of shit she is. She just happens to be living in a larger body
Sweet.
and doesn't look like everybody else in a book. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't tell you how happy that makes me. Just the idea that there's this whole genre of books with plus size main characters and there are people that want to read this stuff.
Yeah.
Because quite honestly, I would love to write it.
Yeah.
I think I have the chops. I think I could do it.
Or be in the movie.
Or be in the I'd love to be in the movie. So I found this lady on Instagram, Fat Girls in Fiction, and she talks about different books recommendations for all of these different aspects under the genre of a plus size main character. Anyway, she had this whole screen up. She did a little video, and there was this one with a Scottish guy on the cover. I was like, I have to read that because it looks like Jamie from Outlander. I looked in the comments and I found out that this lady is the author of this book. It's called A Highlander for Hannah. And I was so excited. I bought it. The cover's so cute. There's a plus size lady and there's basically a Jamie Fraser. The cover's great. Like I would frame it.
And you got one for your friend Jennifer.
Yeah, and I got one for my friend Jennifer, who is also plus size. I was like, yes, bitch. Look, I found out about this whole genre of books and this one is too cute to pass up. So we both read it. We still haven't had our book discussion yet. But it was really fun to read, and I would definitely be in the movie. The sex scenes would have to be toned down. Obviously, I'm not going to show, like, my bits. Not on a TV screen, okay? Not on a big movie screen. No, no, no. But we'll tone it down. We'll make it artistic. We won't make it vulgar.
Yeah.
Not that the sex scenes were vulgar. They were fine. There was some things going on. It is a romance novel, this A Highlander for Hannah. And it's basically about this chick who is at a point in her life where she knows something's got to change because she's not happy. And she meets a witch at a Renaissance fair. Hang in there with me. And what happens is she basically kind of accidentally summons a Highlander from the 1700s of Scotland into modern day. And he shows up in her barn and she's like, what? What am I going to do with you?
Oh, I got some ideas.
Guess what you're going to do with him? Guess what? She don't even know yet. It was a fun read. And it actually has inspired me more to maybe start writing. That might be the next hyphen / whatever that goes under my name. Nice. What am I? I'm a lot of shit. And I'm about to add something else to it, I hope. So we'll see. I don't know. It was really fun to read something so quote unquote frivolous, because so much of what I've read this year, aside from the book series about the fucking fairies and the assassin teenager who also did her fair share of fucking, just not as not as detailed as it was in the other series. Aside from that, it's been a lot of learning, self-help, nervous system trauma, blah 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 blah, that I've been reading about this year. So it was really nice to have something that was totally different. It was a romance. It was really fun and light.
Yeah.
And there was a plus-size main character, and it wasn't about how fat she was or how everyone hated her because she was fat or that she needed to change her body or anything like that. It was just like, her gene size is bigger than what they think is an average person, but it's actually not the average. I believe the average American woman size is a 16 now.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Not a size 5.
Yeah.
Just FYI. So, anyway, I recommend it if you want something fun to stick in a stocking, perhaps, this holiday season. And I did get high and put up holiday decorations. I did make a wreath for the door. Which I was very excited about. So I'm getting high, but it's like not high where I'm sitting around watching Outlander again, which I do want to do. I'm getting things done. I'm getting stuff checked off of my to-do list. I'm making the wreath. I'm decorating the house, even though I just wanted to sit and cry. I listened to the Backstreet Boys Christmas album, which I'd been saving. I told y'all I was saving it. I did. I saved it. Actually, my friend Shayla was like, in a bad mood. She knows she said I was in a bad mood. She just messaged me hating on it, and I was like, you need to listen to it again and then decide. Because I was really confused by her reaction to it. She was hating on it. And so I listened to it. I was like, fine, I'll listen to it. It's the fucking holiday. It's almost December. We got to rip the Band-Aid off. We got to deal with this holiday stuff. I'm going to feel like shit either way. I got high, so I was able to get through it in a more positive light. And I listened to the album. It wasn't that bad. I prefer more up-tempo Christmas songs. So there's some happy built in, because I will cry very easily to most Christmas songs, especially if it's fucking melancholy. That is a huge trigger for me, is a sad ass Christmas song. And there are a lot of slower Christmas songs on the Backstreet Boys Christmas album. A Very Backstreet Christmas, I believe is the name of it. But I do like the more up-tempo stuff. I think they did Last Christmas pretty well. And then they had, I think, some original Christmas songs towards the end that were more upbeat, and I enjoyed that. And that's what's sustaining me right now, is getting stuff done on my to-do list, reading, getting high, listening to music, and trying to do as much creative stuff as I can. That's what's been going on. It's a lot, but it's not a lot. It's interesting, but it's not interesting. It's sad, but it's not sad. It's everything, because that's what life is. It's like
Yep.
it's like a congealed gelatin mold of everything, and it moves around like an amoeba, and it's just like and sometimes things are good and sometimes things are bad, and it's all in there in the goo. It's all in the goo. It's all part of the goo.
Yes.
And everything is the goo. Everything is made. You're made of. You're the goo. You are the goo. The goo is you. It's all. You know what I'm saying? It's all of it. And that's what's great about it, but also bad. Yeah, the good, but also the bad. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's life. Funny as it may seem. That's a Frank Sinatra song, I think, but I didn't remember the words. So anyway, life gets in the way. We're going to discuss a better schedule for our particular lives for the podcast next year. So it'll probably start like mid to the end of February and go till the beginning of November-ish is kind of what we're talking about. Still every couple of weeks. That seems to work fine usually. It's just like once we get into the holiday season, everything gets fucked, especially my head, and I just can't keep up.
Yep.
So we're going to try to make it easier on us to have a better consistent schedule. That's the goal. We just wanted to chime in and say, hey, sorry, but here is life.
We're still going to try to come through with a Christmas movie.
Yes.
We'll have to think about what's going to be the best one to go with.
Yeah.
There's a lot of new ones this season. I was talking to Hailey about possibly doing an episode where we just watch the trailers for all of the new Christmas movies this year.
I'm going to roll with it because I could talk about what I think is going to happen, or we can, or what.
That's true, yeah.
What my perspective on that is. And yours, obviously, but the name of the podcast has my name in it as well. So, yeah, I can roll with that. I also thought, like, look, I don't know why we did this, but we got stuck on what's her name? She was in She's All That with Freddie Prinze Jr. What's her name? That Christmas movie that we sat and watched for some reason. We sat and watched most of it for some reason. And I was like, I'm like, hey, I've already watched this. Let's talk about this movie on the podcast, because for some reason we sat here watching this movie that we don't give a shit about. This cheesy ass Hallmarkish Christmas movie starring that chick from She's All That. What's her name?
I barely remember She's All That. That one have Seth Green in it?
No.
Well, Freddie Prinze Jr.'s got a Christmas movie out.
Yeah, we've seen that, where he's a songwriter.
I mean, we haven't watched it, but we saw the trailer.
Yeah, we saw the trailer. You didn't watch the trailer for that one. Rachel Lee Cook.
I don't even remember watching this movie.
Are you fucking
Were
serious? You probably we were. That's probably why we allowed that to happen. But this is the one with the tall guy with the blonde hair, and she was the chick that she was all about her job and not the holidays, and she goes home to visit. I remember
I'm flabbergasted. I can't remember
and
this.
She had a different coat for every day, and
oh my god.
she ends up, the guy is in love with her, but she's planning to leave and go back to the city, and he doesn't tell her because she's pretending to write a romance about a boyfriend she doesn't have, and so he has to kind of pretend to be her boyfriend. Remember?
Oh my
Remember
god.
this?
It sounds familiar, but I do not remember it.
Oh my god, Sean, are you serious?
It sounds. I need to see like a picture from it or something. I think I'm more visual.
Remember she sat in that coffee shop and watched those other people? She was an author and she came to this town to write, I think. And she was really famous. Is any of this ringing a bell?
This sounds somewhat familiar. Oh my gosh.
And he's got like a
Did you watch this by yourself?
No, you were in the room because you were watching it. And I was like, why are we doing this?
I'm seeing Cross Country Christmas.
No.
Oh, she's got another one. Frozen Love.
What?
Christmas Tale?
She has multiple?
Is the season to be Mary?
Oh, that's it. I think that's it.
Her name's Mary?
Yes. That was part of it. Her name was Mary. 'Tis the season to be merry. This is what I'm telling you guys. Mary, M-E-R-R-Y. That's how they spelled her name, which is never how you spell a Mary's name. Oh, yes, she's looking for a fresh angle on her new book on relationships. So she goes to snow-covered Vermont, where she finds a new perspective and Christmas cheer with charismatic aid worker Chris. I did not know that's what he did. I thought he had a farmer's market stand. I can't believe you don't remember this. Remember, he was cute. I was like, okay, I'll hang out for him. I liked his hair.
They don't have a link to the trailer. Oh my gosh.
And they went to the Christmas tree farm and she took a picture of him and that's what she kept going back to because they were pretending to be boyfriend and girlfriend. And I was like, yeah, okay, I get it because his hair is really great. Do you remember this?
Oh, okay. I remember her boss came. She showed up. Oh, okay.
She's like, you better get your book written. You better find an angle. You better tell me what you're going to write. We're basically telling y'all the whole story.
Rule number 1, always be open and honest about your expectations for the relationship.
Oh, yeah, she had that list of rules.
Since last time you saw me.
They were old friends.
There we go.
You really love Christmas.
What is it that you really want, Mary?
What the fuck was I doing while we watched this?
And he loves Christmas, and she's not really Christmassy.
Oh my god, I barely remember this movie.
Ugh, fine, whatever.
Did we watch it this year?
Motherfucker, we watched it within the last month. It was probably within the last couple of weeks.
Oh, holy shit.
All right, well, lucky you. You don't remember it. Well, guess what? Now I have to remember it for us. And I told you everything that just happened. I didn't like it. The best part was the guy. He was cute. The rest of it, no, thank you. But I did like her coats. Quite honestly, I thought her coats were great.
I don't even know how we got onto that.
And she's not unlikable. I just don't like the cheesy Hallmark movies. I don't know. It just doesn't appeal to me. I get why it appeals to other people. I do. But I don't like it. I just don't. It's too sappy. And I get the pull, and sometimes it's not that bad. Most of it, though, oof.
Yeah, man, this one, it was just not memorable for me. I mean, I remember the Scotland one we watched last year for the podcast, and I remember we watched that one where the Nutcracker came to life.
Oh my god. Yeah, with the dude from Seventh Heaven?
Yeah.
Yeah. The Nutcracker for Christmas or something.
Yeah. Oh, man.
That one.
That was bad.
Oh, yeah, it was a Melissa Joan Hart one.
Yeah, that's
She's
right.
got a lot of them now.
Yeah, MJH. She be bringing the Christmas movies.
I guess this is I don't want to be part of the problem, but part of me wants to do Christmas movies where there's just a fat main character and she's getting hers. Do you know what I mean? And obviously there's gonna be a market for it.
Yeah.
Fat girl Hallmark movies.
Yeah.
Like romance.
I mean,
Hallmark
these can't
movies.
have much of a budget for them, really.
Maybe I can raise the funds.
Yeah.
Maybe I can start production very soon and juggle that too. Because guess what? I'm going to be the producer and the director and the star. So that's a lot of work. It's it's a big time commitment. And I'm going to need extras. I'm going to need a lead. I'm going to need a soundtrack.
Oh, yep.
Shit. It's a lot. But first, you know what I'm going to need? A fucking script. That'd be really important.
Yeah.
All right, I'll work on it. But that goes back to the book I was trying to write.
Yep.
So, who knows? They've both come back to, bitch, you need to write something.
Boom, new business model. Book and the movie come out, you buy them both.
That kind of reminds me of, did you ever have a Teddy Ruxpin when you were a kid?
No.
Oh, that's sad. So my brother had a Teddy Ruxpin. And it came with a little book. The cassette tape came with a book. So you put the cassette tape in Teddy Ruxpin, and then he basically reads the book to you, and you can follow along, and you can see the photos of the things happening that he's talking about.
Yeah.
Just like I had the Mother Goose, which was basically Teddy Ruxpin for girls, and it was a goose. And so you flip up the wing. She's got a cassette player in her too. You put the cassette in. She also has a book. You can follow along. She basically reads you the book. So, Teddy Ruxpin, he was more portable than Mother Goose. Mother Goose was ginormous. And you had to carry her around like a motherfucking goose. I'm serious. She had a little bonnet. And I enjoyed those. I enjoyed reading along. That's just what made me think of. That's what I thought of. That's what you said. So what you said made me think of this Mother Goose cassette tape follow along thing. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Read the book, go see the movie, tell me you like me.
I was on Hallmark Channel and just saw A Big Fat Family Christmas.
No, that's not what we're gonna do. That's not what we're doing. You know what that makes it sound like? Some kind of Medea, Eddie Murphy in a fat suit situation.
It looks like Tia Carrere might be the mom.
Oh my god, that's crazy. So are there no fat people? Because Tia Carrere's not fat.
Yeah, I don't think there's any fat people in it.
So why is it called that then? Do they all gain like 5 pounds and they're like, oh my god, we ate too much gluten? Is that what it's about?
I don't know. It doesn't look like it's Greek, so it's not like off of My Big Fat Greek Wedding.
Okay. Well, no, that's not the kind of content we'll be making at the Hailey channel. It's more like romantical, meet cute stuff. It's a little cheesy sometimes, but there's a little more meat to it. No pun intended, because it does star a fat character. It's just gonna be like normal shit, but with fat representation.
I don't think there's enough Christmas murder mysteries out there.
Oh, damn. I could do that. Christmas murder mystery?
Fuck yeah.
I'm on it.
That'd be good.
That would be good. That's a whole other thing. Christmas murder mystery.
Make it fun a little bit. It's around a white elephant type of thing.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Somebody got the white elephant gift that wasn't a gift. It was actually something, I don't know, something else. They got murdered for it. And
oh my god.
I'm giving away the whole plot here.
Yeah, you are. And I don't even know what that plot is, because how would that happen? What would the gift be? You got to start there and work your way backwards with
What
a
if
murder
it's like,
mystery.
Somebody, here we go.
Okay.
Cat burglar broke into this building.
A cat burglar,
Or something like that.
Called?
I don't know, whatever. Or maybe they'd already stolen like expensive ring or jewelry or something and escaped into this other office building and saw a stack of like presents and quick hid it in one of those presents. Well, those are presents for the white elephant gift at this office party.
Oh, okay.
And later when they came back, they found out everything was gone. They had to track down the person, and I don't know.
Okay, so this is kind of what you're describing to me is reminiscent of Adventures in Babysitting, where Homeboy takes the Playboy cause titties, but actually it's the bad guys, all of their stuff for their whole business is in this Playboy, and that's why they're chasing them. Is it that kind of situation?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay, also, if you haven't watched Adventures in Babysitting, fucking watch it. What are you waiting for? Oh my god. It's so good. It's so good. Don't fuck with the babysitter. Love it. Love it. Nobody leaves here without singing the blues. I love that movie. I love that movie. Elizabeth Shue is a dream. Love her. Okay, sorry. I got on a tangent. All right, so it was nice to sit down with Sean, with the people, and just say, look, here's where I'm at. Can you meet me where I'm at? Can you be a friend of the podcast and hang around and still like us and still listen, even if we're not perfect human beings and even if we're not super consistent all of the goddamn time? Because life happens. I'm hanging in there. It could be worse. It could be better. But I'm getting through, and I'm trying to catch up and do all the things I need to do. But thanks for hanging out. If you listen this far, thank you so much. I appreciate it, and I hope that you will hang out with us again soon.
Yeah, thanks everybody.
Well, we hate to say goodbye, but we love to watch you leave, because that caboose is wild.
Oh, snap.
Work it. Yes. All right, there's your little boost. That made me feel a little better, so I hope it made you feel better because your caboose is hot.
Fuck
Hot,
yeah.
hot, hot. Bye, y'all.
Bye.